nigga. Pockets heavy, just want a box of them little Debbies. Drinking, driving a box Chevy, but the price went up, I need something deadly. Articulate, break down heavy, that's why they understand these words I speak. 24 hours ain't getting no sleep. Selling lucky numbers really got me geek, that's heart chakra. Moving out of my heart chakra. Alone, that's how you know my soul proper and intelligent. But they don't wanna make that relevant, so I still vent like cold and heat. That's balance, nigga, no money involved, but we gon' still add it up and subtract the falls. Big mighty game taking over ball. Mighty, mighty music up in they life. Nope.
What's poppin', what's poppin', what's poppin'? Great rising, great evening, great afternoon, great night to all the time zones out there. Y'all know the vibes, man. This finna be another one. I just want to talk about the Matrix. So this is a Matrix part 3. You feel me? I don't know if I want to... Yeah, let me scoot back on these cars. But yeah, so this finna be a Matrix part 3. And I'm going to start off by saying how basically the Matrix is the Bible in movie form. And I'm going to tell you why. Alright, so look. The Matrix is the Bible in movie form because Neo was a representation of Jesus. Jesus died on the cross for our sins. Neo died by the agent for humanity. You feel me? So Neo could have either walked out and I think reloaded it, resetted it, or he could fight and save the world. So basically, that's like the story of Jesus. And I'm finna dive deeper into it right now. So basically, at the beginning of the movie, Neo, he don't really know his purpose. He just know, something wrong with the world. Excuse me. He knows something wrong with the world. He don't really leave his house. And he stay on the computer. So he got like 2 jobs. He got a corporate job to keep him steady. And then he also got a side hustle for extra income. You feel me? And then his confirmation was when he got that knock on the door. But even before that, he went to sleep. He woke up. He got them codes on the computer. Not codes, but the messages on the computer. That was Trinity saying knock knock and stuff like that. After that, she said follow the white rabbit. Did that. All of this is kind of symbolic, so we're gonna say it's symbolic. So he went to the door. It was his people. He made his transaction, and then they was like, you should come party, blah 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 blah. And he was like, nah, I got work in the morning. So then he was like, come on, it'll be fun. Or the girl said, come on, it'll be fun. She showed the tattoo as a white rabbit. He was like, all right, I'll come. So that was his leap of faith. You feel me? It's either go to sleep, wake up and go to the job, finish working throughout the Matrix, or follow this white rabbit and see where it take you. So he followed the white rabbit. They was at a club. This is kind of symbolic too, because like, who meets a chosen person at a, so they meet at a party. At the party, he find Trinity find him. They talk, and then I can't really name the whole movie at this point because I don't really remember, word for word, part for part, scene for scene. But so yeah, he meet Trinity, they talk, whatever. I feel like he go back home, and then even before that, he was like, "How do you tell the difference between a dream and the real world?" And then he was like, "It's called some mascum, some." He was like, "It's the only way to float, only way to fly," something like that. That's what the dude said. And then that's before he got to the club. He gets to the club, him and Trinity talk, and then I feel like he go to sleep and wake up. Oh yeah, he go to sleep and wake back up. He go to his job. So at his job, because maybe he ain't really believe it, he ain't really want to believe it, but it was still in him to believe it type thing. The chosen, chosen person, chosen ones. So he ended up believing it, but he knew, you know, it's like a dream come true type thing. It's like, do I take this leap of faith or should I keep working? So whatever. He at the job. Morpheus called. When Morpheus called, he said, you in danger. There's finna be some agents pulling up to your building right now. They finna take you in for questioning. Blah, 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 blah. Morpheus was like, I'm gonna show you how to get out of here. So when he did that, he was like, all right. He seen the agents coming. So they was on the phone and he was telling him how to get out of there. They went into the office. Whoever office that was, the boss or whoever, they went to the office. And in the office, Morpheus said, climb the ledge. Neo was like, oh no. Like, oh no, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? So, and then he knew they was coming or they would start coming. He could see them coming. So therefore he said, he tried it. But then he was like, man, I can't do it. So they hung up. And then what else? They hung up. They took him in for questioning or whatever. And they pulled his files, all that stuff. He went through, I don't know what it was. They put like a chip in him. It wasn't really like a chip. It was like a parasite. They put a parasite in him. He woke back up the following day. The following day he woke up. Dang, I can't even remember the whole movie. So I'm going to probably keep doing these because this is my favorite movie, favorite documentary. So I'm going to keep doing these, but I'm going to go back to talking about it. Let me see. So after that, they pull up in a car. And then, they pull up in a car. She was like, you got to take this thing. It was to remove the parasite. He was like, no, I ain't taking that. Because it was like it looked all crazy and looked like, so he didn't want to do it. He was like, he'll get out. But he ended up staying and doing it. So this is basically choice and free will. You feel me? So with his choices was basically signifying how he was the one. Like you gotta, it's like the Bible. That's what I say. It's the documentary version. It's the movie version of the Bible. So he was trying to figure out if he should go with them or he should stay and keep living his regular life. But he ended up taking that leap of faith again, letting them do that. It removed the parasite. He was like, what is that? And they was like, it's like a tracking device or something like that. Something. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to find a way to watch the movie so I could be able to explain it better in my perspective. But basically, Neo was the version of Christ in movie form. That's why they say it's not a movie, it's a documentary or whatever. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's a documentary in movie form, but they call it a documentary. So with that being said, I'm trying to see if I can get to a specific part of the movie. So yeah, he woke up, found out that he was in a fake world or something like that. And when he came to the real world, it was like everybody was in these machines. So basically saying the Matrix is a control. The machines control us. So really we puppets to the Matrix instead of puppets for the Most High. And not even saying puppets, but you know what I'm saying? So we puppets for the machine, so to fuel the machine. So we work, go to school, do all this stuff to fuel the machine while leaving out the Most High, the Creator. And that's the point of that. And then the real world and the Matrix, I feel like, I don't want to say it's the spiritual realm because I'm not really sure. I still got to do some more research and stuff like that. But yeah, so basically the real world and the Matrix. In the real world, it's more of I feel like it's still realistic, but it's to the point where how they say heaven is. When you get to heaven, all you do is praise God, thank God, or whatever. You worship God the whole time. So that's kind of how the real world was. Like we never seen them doing, um, we never seen them like living life. They was always trying to find better ways to fix the matrix. So it was for a purpose. That's the key word, purpose. So they was living a purpose within being in the real world. And then I got to take it back to Cypher. Cypher was woke before Neo, right? Cypher, my bad for all this car noise and stuff like that. But Cypher was woke before Neo, and he chose to fall back to sleep. So for him to go back to sleep and fall back into the matrix, Cypher had to plot on the chosen ones. He had to set up the chosen ones to earn his trust back into the matrix, because maybe if he was to go back into the matrix, he'll be able to change it, because, you know what I'm saying? So basically like a sacrifice. That's basically what that was. Had to sacrifice the chosen ones to get back into your desire, because that's all that really was, a desire. So, because he said he wanted to be able to taste steak again, and ignorance is bliss, etc., etc., etc. So they did that, and when he set him up, somebody had passed away during the whole transaction, because it was really to capture them, but they didn't get captured. Somebody just passed. So therefore, when somebody passed, they kept moving. Of course, the dude that was helping, like, I don't think he ever came into the real world of the Matrix. So I'm gonna say this: I feel like he was like the spirit guide. You feel me? So we gonna say the spiritual realm for just like, you know, to get a better conclusion, get a better picture of what I'm trying to talk about. So the people that never left the Matrix, never went back into the Matrix, was the spirit guides. That was their purpose. That was their role, to guide the chosen ones that had to go back into the Matrix and wanted to go back into the Matrix to fix it. So they became the spirit guides for Morpheus, Neo, and Trinity. So once that phone call, they showed them where to go. They was like, take their left, take their right, there go an agent. Those was the spirit guides. So during that, they once the phone call, they'd be like, where's the nearest telephone? Where's the nearest telephone? Take them, they'll show them where the nearest telephone at, and they'll answer. They already set it up so they can enter back into the real world, the spiritual realm, whatever we finna call it. And yeah, so this is a big symbolization of the guardian angels, like the chosen ones, the guardian angels. So like, I guess you can call the chosen ones like earth angels and stuff like that. And then they also got spirit guides, and the spirit guides, like, even though they know, people always need to get redirected just in case, because sometimes so it was just, I feel like it was more of a symbolization more than like that's why I say it's like, it's the Bible basically. So they had spirit guides, they had the chosen ones, and it all symbolizes something deeper than that, because they didn't tell you that the people that never entered the Matrix was the spirit guides. But my perspective of them being the spirit guides end up being, they never entered the Matrix. They stayed outside of the Matrix, but they always protected the person that went into the Matrix by guiding them where they needed to go. So that was the spirit guide. And yeah, so I'm going to probably do like part 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Because like, this is my favorite movie, and every time I'm going to keep trying to decode it and decode it and decode it. But basically, like I said, the Bible is the Matrix in movie form. It don't get no crazier than that. And just like, look, this is the main example. Everybody hated Neo. Neo was the one there to save the Matrix, to save the people. And what happened with Jesus? Everybody hated Jesus. They didn't believe Jesus. And Jesus' people crucified him. And he crucified himself to make the world better. With Neo, same thing. He sacrificed himself to make the world better, even though the world was against him. And they always say, would you rather be at peace with yourself or at war with the world, or at war with the world? Or at war with yourself and peace with the world. So basically, it's a lot of symbolism in it, and I'm gonna keep, saying more symbolism, but I don't want to just say nothing, and I can't think of the movie, because the second movie I didn't really watch, because like the first one was the most entertaining one for me. The second and the third one, I ain't really like it, but it was cool, So I'm gonna go back into it. I don't want to talk about the Oracle yet, and I don't want to talk about the Architect yet, because I don't really know their roles and different things like that. But the Architect was most definitely the gatekeeper of Earth, in my opinion. I feel like the Architect was the gatekeeper, and the Oracle was another god, but she was like an Earth angel. So they all was programmed, but Neo had the Most High, the Source, programming in him. So therefore he got the chance to make it out, because it was always programmed in him. Everybody else, it was a ton of different people, but they wasn't, I don't think they ever came to the real world. They was, the Matrix, they all was just in the real world. So they made it out and they chose to stay. They didn't want to leave. But with Neo and his crew, they kept going in and out because they was trying to help the Matrix. But people didn't want Neo coming in and out. They didn't want them coming in and out. So that was the chosen crew. Neo was Jesus, and the other people was like disciples. And that's basically what it is. But like I said, I'm going to keep touching on this topic because this is one of my favorite topics. It's one of my favorite documentaries, so why not? So, yeah, I don't want to keep saying nothing, but I don't want to miss nothing out. So I'm trying to make sure I ain't miss nothing out before I, chop out of this podcast. Let me see. I think that's it. I'm not sure, but I think this might be it for right now, because I want to also talk about Oracle and all that different things. Because for example, when they say I could lead a horse to water, but I can't make it drink. That was the first sign of the programming or reprogramming himself, because Morpheus said, I can only show you the door. You have to walk through it. And I feel like it happened again when they was trying to find the locksmith or whatever. That man, he ended up dying. And that's another thing. But this is a whole different movie. So I don't really want to place different movies, but I'm going to say this one part. In Men in Black, they said, where is death is always death. So the locksmith had to die for the greater good. It sounds wrong, but yeah. So they needed the locksmith. They got the locksmith, but then he passed. He didn't make it through. So Men in Black, I don't remember which one it was, but it's like, where is death is always death. And I could touch on, I'm gonna start doing that, my podcast, different podcasts of different movies, but right now I'm gonna do The Matrix. So, yeah. It was basically The Matrix versus the chosen ones. And that's like the devil versus God, because they knew that Neo and his crew was chosen, but they still rebelled against God, because they knew if this is the chosen crew, you're going against God, because God sent them. And this is their purpose, but that's also the agents and the devil energy purpose, because you get your choice. But the light always beats the dark. So even when the agent killed Neo, the agent killed himself, and the agent was like, this isn't fair. But that was the agent purpose. So the agent was filled with greed and all the bad things of kill, steal, destroy, greed, and all that stuff. So it went so crazy that when it Neo sacrificed himself, that the agent killed all of the agents and killed everything. So humanity, I think, was back to normal or whatever. And That's that. But like I said, I'm gonna keep touching on this topic because it's new. It's a bunch of different things to decode within this movie. So make sure y'all tune in and make sure y'all tap into this podcast because it's finna get deep for sure. We finna go down a rabbit hole. But with that being said, man, I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. I love y'all. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. And with that being said, man, I'm gone. Mighty.